Okay, so I'm Grasswalker. Welcome to Magic Arena. They've just released the Omniscience Draft, which is something that I quite enjoy to play. So we're going to draft it and then play it and see how we do. Normally, you can't really do better than 50-50 in this because it's very luck-based. But 90% of playing this format is in the draft because obviously nothing costs any mana and you get 5 mana a turn to use abilities. So cheap cards aren't usually very good, but what you really need is cards that cycle themselves into more cards. So for example, right here we've got a good one. Tidebearer Giant, 4/5, just play it, you lose a life, and then you get a new card on top of this guy that you've just played that's a 4/5. Kaya is also pretty excellent because you just put it down and start exiling things. But I think the pick here is Tidebearer Giant. I think this is the best card in the format, and I don't think you can do much better than it. So now I've got another interesting choice because you can just throw down Omniscience. They're going to take a little bit of damage from drawing, and then you can kill your own creatures to draw 2 cards, and your own creatures don't cost anything to play. So this card's pretty excellent. Changing the target of a spell is pretty harsh. Just draw a card that just cycles itself, you get the free proliferate. Destroy a creature's pretty good. I think we go for Omniscience. I think that's about as good as it gets. What have we got here? We've got draw 2 cards amass. So this, obviously you have 40 cards and you draft I think 42. So you're going to end up with some garbage. Honor the God Pharaoh is free and it cycles away the garbage and gives you new things. A 5/6 to proliferate is pretty good. Dovin I think is quite bad because them costing 1 more doesn't matter. Everything's free. So I think we're going to go for Honor the God Pharaoh. I think being able to cycle into cards is pretty good. The countless proliferate triggers isn't very good. You don't really have many cards in your hand. You're kind of cycling between 1 and 2 for most of the game. Exile any creature's quite good. Mill can actually be devastating because everyone's cycling cards into new cards. So if you can mill their deck, you can mess up their scries, and generally they're going to run out of cards at some point. So this kind of secures you the long game. I'm torn between Wanderer's Strike and Ashiok. I think I'll take Ashiok. We'll see how it goes. Now, you might think that the Shadowfuge is good because it gets rid of 2 of their cards for free, but they don't normally have any cards in their hand. They normally have an empty hand, so most of the time that's quite bad. Time Twist is just too slow. We'll take No Escape because it's a 1-for-1 that you can just hold up, but it lets you scry, which can sometimes be a 2-for-1 because you just get a free turn. Honor the God Pharaoh is here. Aid the Fallen I quite like. We only have 1 Tidebearer, but we have 2 Planeswalkers at the minute. So the chances that it draws 2 cards, or even if it draws 1 card, but it gives us a choice of what it becomes, I think Aid the Fallen can be quite devastating. Got Bolt Bending, a Tidebearer Giant, can't say no to it. I didn't even look at the other cards. Catharsis is actually good because 5 damage is a big reach to hold on to. Can kill a creature, it can kill the player. Primordial Worm's pretty strong though. It's the biggest thing in the format and you just chuck it down. This is hard. I think I'm going to take the Worm. I think I'd rather have the Worm than the Burn. Now we're in trouble because now we've got bad cards. Because this doesn't do much. This doesn't do... I definitely don't want to be sacking my creatures to do 4 damage. Crunch is small. It's passable. This is awful. Iron Bully's okay if you have something worth buffing. I think we'll take Dreadmilkin. We get the 5 mana a turn for abilities. This means we can block and sack and grow the Dread. If we don't want forests, that's a nothing card. Tully Invasion's going to be pretty rough, because if they don't have any cards in their hand, it actually doesn't do anything. But then do we really want a 2-2? Is that how we're going to spend our card? I think we'll take Tully Invasion and hope that we have targets for it. Blind Bast replaces itself, so this card's actually quite good. It's just a free damage. Just 1 point of damage, stops the blocker, and then you get a new card. Can't go wrong with it. These are all quite garbage. Definitely don't want a 1-1. We're not looking for Charm Stray synergies. A 2-2 that can't really be blocked is again just kind of bad. I guess the one thing it has going for it is that most people are playing huge creatures, but lots of people are amassing, like we have a couple of amass cards. But that combat trick's not very good, so I think we'll take the Operative and hope that we can snipe a Planeswalker with it. Between garbage and garbage, I think the Subterfuge. We already have one discard. Let's hope. The Crowvard. Normally your last couple of cards are really bad, so this isn't too bad. It's a 2-5. Eugen is very good. It can either kill something or you can start drawing a bunch of cards. Both are quite good in this format. Also, I need Eugens for my collection. Tybalt's Ray just sucks. Looking for stuff that cycles. Defiant Strike cycles, but doesn't really do anything. Totally Lost is removal, but they draw what they remove, and they're probably not going to be playing bad cards. Pyrohelix is just too small to matter. The Pegasus is nice, but I don't think it's quite good, so I think we'll just take the thing that cycles. Removal is quite good. Proliferate Draw, just kind of a Proliferate Cycle, just a lot of cards that just do a little thing and then draw you the next card. They're okay. Guild Globe does literally nothing but draw a new card. I think we'll take the removal. I think. What do we have that really has counters? He has counters. That's Scries. That does. We've got a little amass. We've got some Planeswalkers. Eugen. We don't have a lot of things with counters, but we might get them. We don't have a lot of removal. I think we'll grab the removal. Mayhem Devil's quite bad. The effect, not many people are going to be sacrificing things. Skulker's okay, because it can't be blocked, so you can snipe Planeswalkers with it. Nothing else here seems that great. Skulker's quite nice, because you get the 5 free mana a turn, so you can use it to present a threat, or just keep going. 1-1 counter. This goes with our... We haven't really got much proliferate. We kind of passed on that. We don't really need the mana ramp either, so he would exist solely to put 1-1 counters, which sucks. No Escape's okay, but there's a Tidebearer Giant. Can't say no to that. What have we got here? Defiant Strike cycles, Contentious Plan cycles. Removal is actually okay. Doesn't stop 1-1 counters, but this isn't a very 1-1 countery format for that to come up. How much removal do we have? Not a lot. Torn between the proliferate and the removal. We'll get the thing that draws. We'll see how it goes. Vivian's Grizzly. Oh, jeez, I'm ill again. Why does this keep happening? Vivian's Grizzly is actually very good, because you get the 5 free mana a turn, both in your turn and their turn. So you can play this, then use it and possibly draw, and then in their turn possibly draw. So they need to kill this, because there's a chance it draws every single turn. Bolt Bend is quite backbreaking. If you can steal a good spell... There's not really anything else here, so we'll take Bolt Bend and hope that we steal a good one. This is pretty much the best card you could find, because you throw your hand in the bin and then you get new cards. Or you can gain card advantage by going Tidebearer then draw. Ooh, you don't normally have a lot of cards in your hand, but when you get stuck with garbage, you do want to get rid of it. We have an Honor the God Pharaoh. I think Tidebearer is just too good. Clogs up the board, it gives you card advantage, costs you a tiny bit of life. Light Shield's not very good, it's worse than the Crowvod. Totally Lost is, I guess, the pick here. It's removal, it's a 1-for-1, get stuff off the board. Manticore's quite good. 6 mana, 6/7. You just play it, you just throw it down. There's not much else here. But now we're getting to the garbage picks. All damage will be dealt to you and permanents dealt to the chosen permanent instead. So there's a lot of attacking and blocking in this format, and the other two cards are total trash. I think we might be able to get some value out of the sacrifice. Between a 0-3 and land synergy that no one plays lands, we'll take the Bulwark Giant. These are two good picks for the last couple of cards. There's nothing wrong with Bulwark Giant. This is back-breaking, because like I said, everyone's trying to draw as many cards as they can and cycle all their cards. So if you put Narset down, you get a couple of cards, and they have to answer her immediately, because you'll just lose the game if she sticks. No one plays lands. Counterspell's okay, I guess. Graveyard probably won't be that full of instants and sorceries. We need something cycles. Topple the Statue cycles. It's a free tap, possible artifact destruction, draw a card. Draw then discard, that's not quite the same. Think we're gonna have to take Topple the Statue. It's free. You just cycle into something. What have we got here? Spark Reaper is quite nice, because again, you get the 5 free mana returns, you can use them once, and then you could cycle him into something else, or you could cycle other things into something else. Taskmaster. Get cards back. So he could provide value, assuming he's not immediately overshadowed. Removal's quite nice. Exile Proliferate's quite nice. Do we have one of those? No. I don't think you can safely attack with the Taskmaster, because he's so small and everyone just plays anything in their hand. So I think we're going to take the removal that proliferates. Now I've got some choices again. Grizzly's very good. Tybalt might be good. The creatures he makes are garbage, but stopping him gain life is interesting. There's a lot of life gain, like Bulwark Giant, just floating around. But I think you can't say no to the Grizzly, just the amount of cards it gives you. Tithebreaker Giant, stack him up. Cura's quite good, but only if she stacks with other 4-power creatures. What do we have? We have a Worm, we have a Manticore, we have 5 Giants. So we've got 7 triggers for her. We've got Vivian's Grizzly to find those triggers. Yeah, we'll do that. Some pseudo-vigilance in there as well. Rubblerolt Rioters being exactly as good as whatever creature you have on the field could be interesting. Got tap cycle, damage cycle. Between them, I think Topple's better. You can use it defensively. 1 damage isn't going to kill things. Stopping something blocking is good, but this also stops something blocking. This stops things attacking, and it happens to kill artifacts. So Topple's better. But we'll grab Bond of Revival. I saw a lot of people when I was playing earlier revive things like Tithebearer, and I'd like to do a bit of that. Remove 5 counters, not very good. Can't be blocked, flying. That's 7, we only have 5, we're not going to put lands in. So I guess it's between Shriek Diver and the Invader. I don't think we're going to want to sack our whole field to get a little bit of damage, so we'll grab the guy that flies. Might be able to snipe some Planeswalkers. For example, if they have a Narset of their own. Again, the closer to the end of the draft, the more garbage you end up picking up. 4/3 reach, possibly 2 damage, or counter a non-creature. There's a lot of good non-creature spells, but this requires you to be ahead, or else you just stay behind. We'll grab the Ogre. It's got synergy with the Grizzly, it's got synergy with Vivian herself, Cure even. Now we'll pick up the Burn. I don't want a more Bulwark Giants. Between a 5/4, 5/3 Hexproof, the Hexproof's actually better. Most things are going to trade between 3 and 4 anyway. This is bad. This is very bad. I think these are one of the cards that will get cut. We have 2 cuts we can make because you draft 42 cards. And I think one of these will be cut. Hosing Flyers doesn't matter. Possibly killing a Planeswalker isn't the risk of having that in your hand. Dread Malkin's okay. That's passable. So we know we're going to cut price. And what else do we have that we don't want? That's the decision. You just cut 2 cards. Possibly the Operative. Everything else is at least tolerable. Toll the Invasion at least amasses. So this is a 2 mana 2/2 hard to block. This is a 3 mana 1/1 as Proliferate Synergy. We've got quite a lot of Proliferate, and there's a chance it hoses with a good discard. Shadowfuge, again, 2 mana 2 damage, 4 mana 2 damage, chance to get the discards. Crovod could have been cut, but we have a 2/2 rather than a 2/5. So I think this will be the final deck. We definitely don't want to put lands in here, because they just don't do anything. So that's it. That's the first time you guys have watched me build a deck, but not really, because we just cut 2 cards. So in the next couple of videos, we'll be playing this, see how well we do. But thank you guys for joining me, and hopefully you enjoyed it. See you in the next video.